Good afternoon, Alan Vandenberg here. Another episode of EQ for You, episode number 13. Today's episode is entitled Low EQ Can Hurt Other People. Low EQ can hurt other people. It should be fun. We're operating off of the idea that 75% of a person or a team's success is not their IQ. And just a couple things right before we get started. Back in February of 2020, this year, crazy year it is, launched this book called EQ, Kill the Radio Star, How Emotional Intelligence Can Crush or Crash Your Organization. Publisher said the best time to launch a book is during a pandemic, and that is absolutely not true. But I want to say a big shout out, a big thank you to all who have purchased the book. A couple weeks ago, I was in Norman, Oklahoma, where at the Barnes & Noble there, they actually had the book on display. Soon to be on the shelves here in Tulsa at the Barnes & Noble as well. So you can pick up the book, obviously, at Barnes & Noble, barnesandnoble.com, amazon.com, or eqkilltheradiostar.com. And last thing before we get to the topic is if you didn't get a chance to listen to the radio show, I did a radio show a couple weeks ago with Dr. Joe Burns and the Rock School radio show. Heard a lot of feedback from it. I think a lot of people liked it. I absolutely loved it. It was the funnest thing I've ever done. It was so awesome. So I appreciate all the kind words on the Rock School radio show interview. So today, topic is low EQ can hurt other people. In chapter 9 of the book, EQ Kill the Radio Star, I discuss one of the EQ skills known as rat brain. In its simplest form, rat brain can be described as a fight or flight mentality. When we feel threatened or attacked, either physically or verbally, we choose a fight or flight behavior. Often, sometimes without even thinking, we react with one of these fight or flight behaviors. So in the psychology world, sometimes rat brain is referred to as the reptilian brain. Without getting into too technical, into this, it's basically a part of the brain known as the amygdala. So it's located right towards the front part of your brain, and this is the part of the brain where emotions and reactions occur. So simply put, you know you're in rat brain when your emotions are high and your heart rate is high. You ever been there? So depending on how we respond in our rat brain state will determine whether we are having a productive EQ moment or a disastrous EQ moment. So last week, during the US Open, Novak Djokovic, I knew I was going to mess that up. He was the number one player in the world and was the favorite to win the tournament. He was struggling in the first set, and you could tell he was getting a little bit irritated at the situation because he wasn't playing very well. And so after he lost another point, he was gathering the tennis ball to start the serve, and he intensely hit the ball towards the side of the court, towards the back of him. As the ball flew towards the wall, it hit a line judge right in the throat. She fell down to her knees. She immediately went to the ground, and at that moment, you can see Djokovic gasp at what he had done. He actually puts out his hand, he's like, oh no, I can't believe I just did that. Shocked at his behavior, he ran over to check on the line judge, and she was hurt, but not badly. And after several minutes of discussion, the tournament judges disqualified Djokovic from the tournament. And the event that was caught on camera was replayed and discussed over and over and over again for the next several days on sports and even the national news. Djokovic was clearly in rat brain. He was in a fight or flight moment playing a game of tennis, and he chose aggression and hit the ball in frustration, and it hurt the judge. So what did Djokovic do? He's a great tennis player. There's no doubt about it. From the IQ perspective, he's a great tennis player, but he had a low EQ moment for sure. In an Instagram post after the event, Djokovic apologized to the line judge, saying he didn't intend to hurt her and that he was going to, quote, I need to get back within and work on my disappointment and turn all this into a lesson for my growth and evolution as a player and a human being, sounds like an EQ situation to me for sure. And I love Djokovic. He's a great player. Absolutely, he's a great player. So EQ is not about being perfect, but it is about continually growing in our awareness and ability to manage our behavior. No judgment here for sure. I have certainly been in situations of low EQ moments and high emotions when I'm playing pickup basketball. For those of you who have played pickup basketball with me at the Y, you know what I'm talking about. On the golf course when I just can't hit the ball, and playing tennis with my friends and family for sure. So, but as I watched the highlight of this event, it reminded me of how low EQ behavior can hurt other people. So many years ago during Christmas time holiday, the family was in the car and I was driving home from a long day of Christmas shopping at the shopping mall. We were waiting in a long double turn lane. It's a double left turn lane to get on the highway. And as the arrow turned green, I began to, get behind the next car and begin to turn. And as I'm doing that, I literally see somebody coming out of the right part of my peripheral vision, and it was a person that literally sped around me and jumped in line and turned and got on the highway. And I will tell you, at that moment, I stomped on the gas. And I didn't know if you knew this or not, but a Geo Metro can go 85 miles an hour. You want to know why I know that? Because that's what I was driving. We were going 85 miles an hour down the highway because I was wanting to see who this person was. And I don't know what I was going to do, but I was going to catch him. So as I caught up to the car, going 85 miles an hour in a Geo Metro, not the smartest thing ever, I gave the person that look. You know that look that you give them when somebody's driving inappropriately? You give them that look. You're like looking at them. And what was going on in their car? What was going on in the other car is the same that was going on in my car. His wife or girlfriend was yelling at him, just like my wife was. Stop, slow down, you're gonna hurt somebody. What are you doing? Right? And so what's crazy about this event is when I step back and look at it, it wasn't very smart at all. If you have a wreck, and if we had a wreck in the Geo Metro, guess what happens to me and my family? We die. Anybody ever been in a Geo Metro? Those things were like Tinker Toys. It was literally a go-kart. I don't even know how they made it. It got like 50 miles to the gallon. The doors weighed like 2 pounds apiece. If you wreck in a Geo Metro, you are going to die. So think about how crazy that was. I put my 2 daughters and my wife in danger. Right? It is a funny story, but I was in total rat brain, and I could have hurt my family. I could have been in the newspaper the next day. The whole family dies because Alan Vandenberg is trying to get this guy on the highway. How crazy is that? And guess what happened when I saw him? I slowed down. I was like, oh, okay, well, now I've seen you. All right, now we go. This is kind of crazy. So how can we all choose steps to reduce rat brain events and emotions in our lives? Well, there's 2 areas. One is self-awareness, the other is self-management. Self-awareness, understanding what your trigger points are. What sets you off? What are those things that set you off and send you into rat brain? Is it technology? Is it people? Is it circumstances? Is it losing at tennis? Is it somebody cutting you off on the highway? We have to be aware that that is happening to us. And secondly, so understand your trigger points. Secondly is listen to your self-talk. More than likely, when you're in rat brain state, you are talking very negatively and very aggressively. At least I do, for sure. The third is when your heart rate goes up, you are in rat brain. So understand that self-awareness is really important to reducing rat brain. Second thing is self-management. Your behavior, self-management in your behavior. So how long do you stay in rat brain? Get out as quickly as possible. Stop the negative self-talk. Find something positive and move from a rat brain moment to a clearer, much less dangerous moment in your life. So hopefully this was helpful for you. I know we've all been in these rat brain moments. There are so many triggers out there, and each one of us, it's a little bit different for each one of us, but for me, that was one that happened a long time ago, and it's very, very dangerous. It's funny to talk about now, but it was absolutely the dumbest thing I could have ever done. And again, what is rat brain? It's a low EQ moment that can hurt somebody. So hopefully this was helpful. Want to leave you with these 3 things. Find what you do in life and do that to the best of your ability. Don't allow anyone or anything to steal your joy and your happiness. And number 3, live life to the fullest every day, because nothing is guaranteed. So have a great day. Again, if you would stop by on the YouTube channel, and please subscribe, and you'll get these videos every time they download, which is every couple of weeks or so. And I appreciate all the feedback and the interaction on social media. Appreciate you all very much. Have a great day. Thanks.